Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Clay with Clay's AC and Auto Repair and here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. If this video is helpful, please consider subscribing, clicking the notification, sharing my videos, give me them sweet old thumbs up. Remember, if anyone else can do it, I promise you, you can do it too. You want to see some sweet old Sprinter stuff going on right here? I'm going to show you a super trick way of installing that Sprinter swirl motor, make it a lot simpler for you. This is not a nut and bolt video showing you how to remove the thing, but I do give you some super good tricks and hints on how to get this thing out easier. So remember, don't be the next to them, be the first to you. And if this video is helpful, put on one of my sweet Clayway playlists found on my channel's homepage. Turn the volume down at night while you're sleeping and let that sucker play from front to back.
So in this video, I thought I was going to be able to change the swirl motor without removing the turbo. That found to be very futile. So this isn't going to be a nut and bolt video of removing the turbo and getting down to the swirl motor. I've got other video of that here on my channel showing you how to remove this turbo up here. You need to have a fairly high level of mechanical aptitude to even attempt doing this. It's not for the amateur mechanic to do because there's a lot of things that you can actually break while doing this procedure. But the way that I show you how to install the swirl motor inside there is pretty trick, and it will make it much simpler for you, and you will be successful at doing it. At the beginning of the video, my intention was to remove the swirl motor without removing the turbo, but I can't see any way of doing that because of the wiring harness and the plastic loom that goes over the top of there. I don't want to break it, and even if I did break it and I was able to get down to the swirl motor, I still don't think that'd be helpful at all. So I really see no need in actually doing that, and we're going to go ahead and just remove the turbo. It's not that hard.
So now we're going to go ahead and pull this turbo up out of here. It's not that difficult, folks. Get that thing out of there. I'm going to unclip the back arm, which is the easier two of the two arms that are on there. And then I'm going to show you how to remove the other clips so we can successfully remove the swirl motor. There's a couple bolts in the swirl motor that are pretty self-evident, and I'm not going to show you me removing them. This is basically about how to install this thing and make it easier for you to get it in there so you guys are successful. Remember, if anyone else can do it, I promise you, you can do it too. Okay, so here's the skinny. I actually forgot to shoot video of me removing that one, but that one was actually pretty easy, and I got that out pretty quickly. So the back one with the turbo out of there makes it super simple, but I think you're only going to be shown once anyways, no matter if I'd have showed you this one or that one. So what we're going to do is we got a pair of springy needle nose pliers here, and we're going to use one arm for the pliers, and then the other arm we're going to pull up on this, and as we push down, we want to push the clip out of there. Now we just squeeze that thing, simply squeeze it together. If you guys have ever done these, they're not terribly fun, but they're not the world's most complicated situation either.
Okay, so we're going to take our pliers there, needle nose pliers, and we're going to stick them on them two little tiny tabs in the center of the swirl motor clip that's holding that on there. And as we squeeze the clips together, we're going to push towards the bottom of the engine, so pushing downward, and it's going to pop that little arm right out of there pretty easy.
Sorry y'all, I tried to show you on camera me pushing that out of there, but all I did was squeeze it and push it at the same time, and it slipped right out. This can be a pain. Just take your time. Do not break the arms that are attached to the swirl motor. In case y'all are wondering what this is a Coke can that keeps the oil off the top of there. And in case you're wondering how this works and how the arms are, this is how I've got mine. Also, another thing that we want to check is we want to check and make sure the swirl flaps are working. I know mine are working because I rebuilt these, and while I was installing this, I broke the arm off there, but I wanted to install it. So you want to check and make sure that these are flapping the way that they're supposed to, moving back and forth like this. Generally, this passenger side will be the one that's not working at all. This works really well. And of course, this one works exceptional as well. If you guys need your intakes rebuilt, let me know. It's much cheaper than OEM, and I do some little tricky stuff to them, and they're just a little bit better than OEM. Now I'm going to show you a little way to get the arms back up into the intake swirl motor flaps with it installed in the vehicle. First thing we're going to need to do is we need to take these arms off and make sure they're inserted the same way and at the same positions on our new motor. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is going to require you to have a little bit of fishing line, some super glue, and preferably a 1/16 drill bit. 1/16 is about the smallest you can get, and it should work pretty well for what we're going to do here. So we're going to take this drill bit and drill a little hole right about here in each one of these so we can wind fishing line through there. Then we're going to take a little bit of glue and glue on the side of here. We're going to keep it out of the cup so the ball can still move. We'll glue up this thing and glue it to the post on our drive. And then, as you can tell, or as you're probably already thinking, we'll take that fishing line, run it through the squares on our intakes, pull it, and it will suck these up inside the squares and make it easier for us to install it. Now, as you can see, we got 2 holes in there. Now we can stick a little dab of glue on there and glue this to the post and do the same thing for the other one.
Okay, before you put the glue on this thing, you want to make sure that you put it on the shaft and then glue it.
And that, boys and girls, is how it's done. We'll do that to both sides. Put a little bit of glue on there and put her in.
So as you can see, they're attached to my little balls right there. We're going to spin them and make sure that they spin freely before we go to insert them up in there and they don't come apart. But you can kind of see how the string is going to work and how you're going to pull that fishing line right through there.
Let's make sure that our little squares move like they're supposed to. Just in case the glue leaked down in there a little bit. These were a little bit sticky at first, and then I moved them a little bit to make sure they move. Now we can take this sucker and set it right up underneath there, and I'm going to need both arms, but I'm going to put it up underneath there a little bit, pull my fishing line from the bottom up on both of my things. Now obviously you're not going to be able to just yank this thing in there. You're going to need to move it into the position and then pull it up once it's there. I need 2 hands at least to do this. Now all I can tell you is get it pretty well near the position and move it around before you pull up on your line. I think it's extremely necessary to point out that this flap is supposed to be facing forward. So generally I do the forward flap and then I'll do the rear flap next. But we need to make sure that we move the motor and the arm into the proper position as we do the rear flap. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and bolt the swirl motor back down. Then we're going to check the back flap, make sure everything's correct and not bound up. Okay, just to make sure our linkage isn't bound up, we can go ahead and push on this and make sure our rods are moving back and forth like they're supposed to and nothing's bound up. Now I can turn on my scanner and move this controller, and I think that'll be neat, so I'm going to do that next. Now you can cut off your fishing line, pull it through, and bolt your motor down. And if you're like me, I'm going to check and make sure this thing works, just because I can. Okay, so we've got the engine set to diagnose engine, and we're going to do some special functions or active test here. We've got the key turned on, and we're going to be able to hear, hopefully, the engine's swirl motor switch. I think it's in here. It's either here or the other one. Swirl actuator. I don't need to view the data stream. I just want to see if we can hear it switching down there. So first thing we're going to do. Oh yeah, I heard it switch. So now it's at 20% value when I press F2. So we're going to go ahead and press F6 to get it up to 100%. I don't know if you heard that or not, but we'll switch it back, see if you can hear it again. Now once more. Well, I can definitely hear it. Hopefully you folks could hear that too. It's pretty neat. It's up to 100%. We can put it to, whoops, 40. Everything's actuating the way it's supposed to be. It's pretty cool. So now we know our motor is good. We're not going to have any issues with our swirl motor moving, and we're good to go. Remember, if you guys need any service on your sprinters, you're more than welcome to send them over here to me. I don't know everything about them, but I'll certainly do a great job for you folks. Remember, Clayway is the only place right now that you can get your own rebuilt intakes for much, much cheaper. So hopefully y'all were able to get your Sprinter swirl motor in there simpler and easier. Please think of me the next time you need your Sprinter intakes rebuilt, or you need them removed, or you need any parts for any of them. Look down in the description below. Remember, if anyone else can do it, you can do it too. You can look me up on Clay's AC and Auto Repair under the Facebook Messenger, and I certainly try to answer everyone's questions that I possibly can. God bless and have the best of days.